So after 8 years of building and fixing websites, one thing that's become obvious: most problems start with bad hosting. Slow sites, messy dashboards, random add-ons, the usual suspects. Now, I've moved sites off of Bluehost, HostGator, even DreamHost for exactly that reason. And every time I migrated someone to Hostinger, the difference was immediately faster load times, smoother WordPress setups, and fewer back-end management. So today in this video, I'm going to break down what actually makes a hosting provider good for speed, uptime, ease of use, pricing, and why Hostinger is one of the ones that I keep coming back to after testing pretty much every major platform. So before we start, this video is sponsored by Hostinger. They've been my go-to for years, and you'll see why once we get into the parts that hosting really impacts. It's one of those things that people don't notice until it goes wrong. Now, the easiest way to tell if your hosting is slowing you down is to use your site the same way as anyone else would. Just click around. If the page hesitates for even a second, that's not your design, that's your server. I've had sites on Bluehost where I regretted clicking on anything because images loaded late, WordPress felt heavy, everything just dragged, and when you're new, you think that you caused it, even though the hosting is the actual issue. So when I moved those same sites to Hostinger, everything reacted instantly. Pages didn't slowly appear. They showed up fully on screen the moment that I clicked. Even switching between posts or opening menus, it stopped lagging. This matters because speed is the difference between someone staying on your site or backing out thinking something's broken. You don't need to understand the tech to feel when a site just works. Light speed plays a big part in that. It prepares your pages ahead of time, so they're going to appear all at once. On slower hosts, you can literally watch a page build itself piece by piece. The banner, then the text, then the button. On a Hostinger, everything shows up together, which does make a huge difference if your traffic comes from TikTok or Instagram, where people expect things instantly. So, speaking of traffic, it's something that exposes slow hosting very quickly. I watched a Bluehost site struggle with 8 visitors at once. The gallery froze, the contact form wouldn't load. I moved that same site to Hostinger, and a promo I made sent a few hundred people to my site in an afternoon. The site didn't budge. Hostinger also handles things that you'd normally overlook, like caching and image compression. Caching just means the server remembers your page, so it doesn't rebuild it every time someone visits. And compression shrinks your photos so they load fast even if you upload them straight from your phone. You don't set any of this up. It's automatic, and your site stays fast because of it. And that's why beginners and small businesses usually have the best experience with it. You get fast, steady hosting without touching a single technical setting, and you can focus on actually building your site. Now, once your site is fast and stable, the next thing that you're going to notice is how easy the hosting is to deal with day by day. So I have used platforms where even the simplest tasks feel complicated. One host hid the WordPress installer behind 3 menus. Another made you manually enable SSL, which is just a security lock that tells browsers that your site is safe. Nothing technical about it, but they somehow turned it into a chore. Hostinger keeps everything straightforward. You click Add Website, you choose WordPress, and a minute later the site is live. SSL turns on automatically, and you can check yourself by finding it in your browser, and at no point do you have to wonder if you missed a step. Email was the biggest change for me. On some hosts, you make the inbox, then they tell you to update DNS, which basically means telling the internet where your mail should go. They give you the codes, but not the instructions, so you're guessing your way through it. On Hostinger, I typed the address I wanted, I clicked create, and that was it. Hostinger handled the DNS on its own. I sent a test email and it showed up immediately. Now, backups are just as simple. A backup is basically a saved version of your site. Hostinger gives you a calendar. Pick a day, click restore, and your whole site rolls back in a minute. Everything just works the way you need it to, so you spend your time building your site, not wrestling with the hosting behind it. The only remaining thing that can bite you at this point is pricing, because hosting companies love hiding their biggest surprises in the fine print. I've had hosting plans that started at just a couple of dollars a month, and I remember thinking I'd found the perfect deal. Then the renewal email showed up and the price jumped so much that I genuinely thought I clicked the wrong plan. Same features, same site, just suddenly way more expensive. Once that happens a few times, you get a lot more careful about what $2 a month actually means. Hostinger does the usual intro pricing as well. Their lowest rates hover around $3 a month, but the difference is that the renewal isn't a shock. The premium plan usually renews at around $12, and the business plan starts at around $4 and renews around $19. It's still a jump, but it does feel normal, not like they pulled the rug out from under you. And if you end up using the code Site Starters in the description, they knock another 10% off and throw in 3 extra months automatically, which just stretches the value a little more without you having to think about it. And now, of course, the catch is the same as any discounted hosting. You get the best price by paying for a longer plan up front. That won't fit everyone. Some people prefer month to month, even if it costs a bit more. But Hostinger does soften that commitment with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can start the longer plan, try everything, and still walk away if it just doesn't feel right. I actually like that because it gives you time to see your real setup, not just a demo. Now, the part that made the pricing feel fair to me wasn't just the numbers, but what comes included. On a lot of hosts, the intro price looks cheap because the plan itself comes, well, stripped down. Backups, email, SSL, all the basics end up as add-ons. By the time you've added everything your site needs to feel complete, the cheap plan, well, it's not cheap anymore. Hostinger includes all of those things up front. SSL is included. Backups are included. Email is included. You're not stacking extras just to get a normal website running. Whether that's a great deal depends on what you're building. If it's a portfolio, a blog, a service site, something lightweight but long-term, the math works out in your favor. You pay once, you forget about it, and the site lives quietly for years. If your project is short-term or you're still experimenting, the long commitment won't mean much, and a monthly option somewhere else might feel safer even if it does cost more, but that's the real trade-off, long-term savings versus short-term flexibility. Hostinger leans towards long-term savings, and for most of the sites that I build, simple, steady, not resource-heavy, the premium plan ends up landing in that sweet spot without overcommitting or raising my blood pressure over the bill. After pricing, the next thing you're really going to feel with Hostinger is what it actually gives you to work with. And honestly, this is where a lot of hosts fall apart. Either they throw 50 tools in your face and expect you to magically know what half of them do, or they give you the bare minimum and hope you don't notice. Hostinger sits in that comfortable middle spot where things feel simple without being childish. Most people on Hostinger are using WordPress, and the whole process feels almost too straightforward. You click install, you wait maybe a minute, and WordPress is ready. There's no weird drop-downs, no 10-step checklist, and instead of the old-school cPanel layout that looks like an airport dashboard, you get hPanel, which is basically the organized version of that. Stuff you actually need. Email backups, your files, databases, it's all right in front of you instead of buried under menus. Now, a few tools end up saving you from the usual beginner disasters as well. Staging, for example, lets you duplicate your site, break whatever you want, and then decide if you want to push it live. If you ever installed a plugin that nuked your entire homepage, staging feels like having an undo button on your whole website. Their AI website builder is surprisingly useful as well. It's not going to win design awards, but if you just need something simple live today, a landing page, a portfolio, a hey, here's my business site. It gets you there without you touching code or pretending to care about CSS. You answer a few questions, it builds something decent, and you clean it up until it looks like you've made it on purpose. And for what you can actually build, blogs, portfolios, personal projects, restaurants, service businesses, coaching sites, smaller online stores, all of that runs totally fine. I've put plenty of beginner-friendly sites on Hostinger, and they've handled it without even feeling strained. Even small WooCommerce shops can run well as long as you're not trying to be the next Amazon. Now, where you start hitting limits is when you're running something heavy, huge stores, apps, anything with constant user activity. At that point, you're moving into VPS or cloud hosting territory anyway, which Hostinger also has, but most beginners, they really never touch that. The point is, Hostinger gives you enough tools to actually build something real without expecting you to become a full-time developer. It doesn't overwhelm you, doesn't get in your way, and it doesn't treat you like you're supposed to memorize every technical term on the internet. You build your site, it works, and the tools grow with you instead of working against you. Once everything's running smoothly, the only thing that can really catch you off guard is support. Hostinger doesn't offer phone support, which might worry some people, but their live chat more than makes up for it. It's built directly into the dashboard, and most of the time, someone replies in under a minute. It's a lot better than sitting on a hold or waiting half a day for an email to come back. Now, what stands out is that the support actually fixes things. I've broken WordPress installs, had themes glitch out, even ran into an email issue, and instead of just sending me a long article, the agent walked me through the fix step by step. They restored backups, checked databases, updated DNS records themselves, and stayed in the chat until everything was actually working again. Now, it's not perfect. You still get the occasional canned response or someone who assumes you know more than you do. But when something genuinely goes wrong, Hostinger has been one of the few budget hosts where I felt like there's a real person on the other side actually trying to solve the problem, not just ending the conversation. So at the end of the day, good support is just getting unstuck fast without feeling like you're on your own. Hostinger does a solid job at that. So after bouncing between different hosts over the years, I keep coming back to the same realization. The best hosting isn't the one with the longest feature list. It's the one you forget about. When your site loads instantly, stays online, doesn't fight you, and doesn't surprise you with weird bills later, hosting becomes invisible. And that's when you actually get to focus on the thing you're trying to build instead of the platform that's underneath it. For me, Hostinger has been that experience more consistently than anything else that I've used. It's fast without you tuning anything, reliable without babysitting it, and simple without feeling stripped down. It handles all the behind the scenes stuff that beginners trip over and gives you room to grow if your site actually takes off. It's not the perfect choice for absolutely every kind of site, but for blogs, portfolios, small business sites, and anything that doesn't need enterprise level power, it's the most balanced mix of speed, stability, and price that I've found. Again, if you're curious and you want to try it out yourself, I've left a link and the Site Starters coupon in the description. It gives you an additional 10% off. And Hostinger usually adds 3 extra months for free on top. Plus, it doesn't cost you anything extra and it helps support the channel. And honestly, hosting is one of those things you only really understand once you get your hands on it. So feel free to test it out. Build a page or two and see how it feels. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. If you found this helpful, feel free to like or drop a question in the comments. I answer everything that I can. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you in the next one.